Okay. DeForest Kelly. Could you tell us first, where are we? What is this?
Well, we're sitting in a ship called, this is the Bird of Prey. This is a Klingon ship that we are trying our best to get out of every day. It's part of the set that we're working in now. This is a ship that really doesn't belong to us. And we're trying to get home in it. It's about as safe as I can put it, I think.
What changes have there been, if any, in your role? What promotions have you received in this film, if any? What is your role developed to?
I have remained pretty steadily where I am. I have my rank. I really haven't paid much attention to it. I'm a commander, and still the same physician and doctor that I always was. The role really is kind of a strange feeling for us, you know, when we get together every couple of years and do a film, try to get back in this thing again. But I think that the only real difference with any of us is perhaps the maturity. McCoy has become a little more irritable and probably a little more crotchety as time goes by. A little more irritated with Spock. He gets on his nerves quite a bit. Outside of that, we're all pretty much the same.
Do you have any particular physical action or dangerous things that happen to you?
In this particular film?
Yeah.
Well, there's some excitement toward the end of this film that is difficult to talk about without giving it away. But there's always an element of danger in anything that you do on a motion picture set that requires some kind of semi-stunt ability. But nothing really in this film that I'm sure Paramount won't take care of us in a nice, safe and comfortable way. But there is a very exciting sequence at the end of this film that requires a little movement, let's say.
Well, all of you by now must have developed some almost ensemble player feeling between yourselves, having worked together so often. What is it like?
It's, I don't know, it's like a family reunion each time, because we did become a family during this show. Of course, we saw more of each other than we did our own families during the series. And then to get back together again each time is somewhat like a family reunion again. And then after we're into it for a while, why, it's more or less like old times. Of course, there's more than that with me, because I started my career on this lot here and as a young guy in 1946. So it looks like I might end my career here.
That's interesting. Do you feel, or were you worried about becoming typecast in any way?
No, I wasn't. You know, I felt that out of all of the characters, that McCoy would be less affected than perhaps anyone in the show. And I was rather surprised that he became so identifiable. And it was rather a shock to walk down the streets of New York and have people yelling, "Hey, Bones," at you, you know. But there's no doubt about it that I have become highly identified with the show, as we all have. And I've often said that should I do something else and be nominated for the Academy Award, I'm sure when they handed me the award and they were interviewing me afterwards, that the interviewer would say, "Tell me something, how do they beam up?"
That's lovely. What's it like working with Leonard, the actor and the director?
Excuse me, it brings a lump to my throat. It's very interesting. He's marvelous in both aspects of it. Leonard is wonderfully prepared. He was for the last film and equally so on this film. It's interesting to me that you're working with a fellow performer who must now turn around and look at you as an actor and who has spent so many years working with you, and he knows that you know what you want to do, and he certainly knows what he wants to do, but is also, I find, a wonderful opportunity, because we may all go through life saying, gee, I would have never done it that way. So it gives me an opportunity to have him give me some direction, and perhaps areas that I maybe never had thought about, you know. And in a number of instances, he has proved very beneficial to me in that respect. And I respect his judgment, and I respect him as an actor and an excellent director.
Terrific. How would you say the character that you play has evolved from the beginnings in the TV show to now?
Well, when I came in, you see, I was not in either pilot of the series. I had done another film for Gene Roddenberry, and he screened one of the pilots for me, and he had wanted me from the beginning, but the network or someone there didn't want me because I had been playing heavies for about 8 or 9 years, a lot of westerns and that sort of thing, and evidently they couldn't see me in the role. Make a long story short, he screened this for me, and I saw the part of the position who was played by another fine actor, a character man named John Hoyt, and it was he was in maybe one scene in the movie, but it was a very effective scene in the television film. And I felt that it was a marvelous opportunity if this character could grow and expand. And I talked to Gene about that, and he thought maybe that it could. And then after we got into it, the fans began to pick up on McCoy. And so they began to feed him more and more, and as time went by, he became more important, and eventually moved into a co-starring position. And it's been an enjoyable role, because he certainly isn't overexposed in these films, but usually when he comes in, he has a zinger here or there, you know, or something humorous to say. So it's been a wonderful experience.
Has he ever married?
Yes, he was married, and many people feel that was the reason, after a bitter divorce, that he joined Starfleet. He was also assumed to have had a daughter, and had the series gone on, they were going to bring her on the show, which we didn't do. Had a marvelous story mapped out. They were going to have her come aboard as, I don't know, as a nurse or something in that area, and have Shatner go for her, and it was going to tick McCoy off something awful. He knew what a stud he was. He didn't want him messing around with his daughter.
That's lovely. How close is Bones to you, or how close are you to Bones in characterization? Is he you, or are you him, or have you merged?
No, I think that there's a bit... Yeah.
Okay. Part 2, continuing DeForest Kelly interview.
Take 2.
Okay. I almost forgot the question.
Well, you were asking me about how close we were to being the characters, how much of the character...
Or vice versa.
I think there's a little bit of McCoy in me, and I think there's a little bit of Spock and Leonard, and a little bit of Kirk and Bill. And but a lot of it, Roddenberry laid out these characters very cleanly, and McCoy was supposed to be iconoclastic. He was the character was, I can't think of the man that he patterned him after. Gee, that's terrible. A journalist, famed journalist. Well, I can't think of it anyhow.
Sure.
I can't think of the guy's name.
That's okay.
But anyhow, I went to a library and studied up. And as the show progressed, we seemed to feel these characters out. Things started to happen. I would throw Leonard a look, and he would respond. And that sort of thing kind of started to grow, and the writers began to pick up on that conflict and that love-hate relationship. So, I don't know. I guess there's, as I said, a bit of the character in all of us, but certainly not a lot of it.
What's going to happen to Bones in Star Trek V?
Well, he's going to have a couple of humorous experiences. This show is, I think, is a wonderful script, and it has a lot of comedy in it, which I think people are going to enjoy. It makes it very difficult because of not wanting to expose anything in the script. But what is going to happen will happen to all of us, more or less, where this film is concerned. We each have a few moments of terror and a lot of moments of laughter in it.
Does this mean that there will be another Star Trek?
God, I don't know, Mike. So from one to the other, you know, you wait.
Could you widen the bit? Yes, sir. Just do the last question, and we'll go in on it.
Kelly, be careful with the matches, because I can hear them, and I don't think we see them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then on his answer, you start going in
Okay.
slowly. First, what would you like people to feel or think when they come out of Star Trek 4?
Well, the number one thing, I suppose, is that they have enjoyed themselves and that they have seen a group of people who care for each other, and that perhaps some kind of a message has been delivered to them along the way. We seem to have managed that during the series, and hopefully if we can leave them with that spirit, I think it would make us all happy.
Hold it there. That's perfect. Okay. That's terrific.
Okay.